In the beginning, when you started kind of like taking it, like, man, I'm gonna really go. I'm gonna try to really do this music thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some of the things that you went through as far as the struggles. Did you ever, maybe you did or didn't? Did you ever feel like, man, I'm finna give up, or self doubt? Did you deal with any of that?
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like with anything in life you dealing with, you're gonna have self doubt. You're gonna come across some roadblocks, and you be like, man, I don't think this for me. I want to give up. This shit too hard. But really, that's the easiest thing to do is to give up, because then that stops all the hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, well, I don't have to have self doubt if I'm not even trying. You know what I'm saying? But I think the beauty of the journey is, itself. It's like figuring out how to navigate through these different potholes and roadblocks, and then you know what I'm saying. If you are come to a point where you just like, man, I don't even know. Well, shit, it's cool to take a step back, reassess the situation, and then come back to it. So I've had to do that several times. You know what I'm saying? And for me now, it's like I just released my first studio album, my project. So here I am. I'm 31. So for me, I had a lot of self doubt. Like, okay, am I gonna release a project? Am I, people really gonna gravitate to it when I do release it? And so all those different things. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every artist has, has to overcome that at some point in time. You know what I'm saying, in their careers. And it's just like that's the beauty of it is being vulnerable, and all of your self doubts and putting that on display for everybody. It's a scary thing, but at the end of the day, you got to trust your process, know that you put in the work and that you got the talent and the skill to be great and overcome any obstacle and shit. And then for sure you gotta have God on your side too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that relationship. So for me, that's just how I that's how I overcame it, and I tell that to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
So before we get into the album talk,
Mm-hmm.
I also want to talk to you on the things that you felt like, okay, this was a mistake. This is something that I made a mistake on and I learned from. Like, I could have done this differently. Not saying you had any regrets,
Right.
but this is one thing I did wrong that, if I was given that same opportunity, I wouldn't have did that again this time, because I could have took some money here and put this money here, or I spent money on this, on music where I didn't need to spend it at.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I there's so many of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just give us a few.
Yeah,
just give us a few. Or one, it don't matter.
Right, yeah. I mean, shit, you make mistakes every day, but I think for me, as far as like related to music in a sense, I'm so kind of like, particular of who I work with, right? Like, because you want to make sure that that person that you do a track with, like, y'all actually vibe and you fuck with that person, not just the music in a sense too. So that takes time to build relationships, to be like, okay, cool, I fuck with this person outside of just the music, so it makes sense to do a record together. So I think when I was younger, I wasn't so much like on that mindset of trying to collaborate with other people that was from the city, because it was kind of like, nah, like, it's an ego thing as well too. But the older I got, the more I realized, like, it shouldn't be an ego thing. It's just more so like, let's collaborate. I appreciate and respect your art, so let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You still want to also vibe with that person as well, but you want to just make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you open to collaborate and be open to receive, appreciation, because a lot of times you give somebody credit for something and it's kind of like they don't really appreciate it. But, I think the older and secure you get with yourself, then you understand, like, it ain't even about an ego thing. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's more so just about us collaborating and making great music at the end of the day. So I think when I was younger, I think I had more so of that mindset, but as opposed to now. And I think that's just one of the biggest things. So, as far as like mistakes I made, to answer your question.